Hello, everybody. It is your favorite comic book artist's favorite comic book artist and your favorite sketch card artist's favorite sketch card artist. That's right, it's Jax. We're back again. This time I'm doing a time lapse of the nun from the Conjuring universe. I guess it would be. I guess Annabelle is a part of that universe, as is Curse of La Llorona, which I watched a year or so ago. Wasn't bad, wasn't tremendous either. Um, the first Nun movie I enjoyed. I really enjoy the design, the makeup, and the costuming of the nun. The actress is really great, especially considering it's all like pantomime and it's all just her doing um, like physical work. There's no dialogue for the character. Anyways, was the first time watching The Nun and then watching The Nun 2, and I watched them back to back 2 consecutive days. And I gotta say, like, The Nun was a decent concept, right? I mean, I was raised Catholic, and so, like, I would see nuns every week when I go to, like, Sunday school and stuff like that. Um, but, there's always the conversation that happens, and it's so funny about like possession and all these other things. Like they're always done from like a religious bent. They're never done or like somebody just happens to be possessed, right? I think the closest one was like Stigmata, which was a really interesting movie from like the mid 90s, I believe it was. Um, that was a decent one. I really enjoyed that one as well. But I don't tend to flock to supernatural movies, especially American supernatural movies, because it's really all about the jump scare. And there's not a ton of character development involved in anything going on with the characters. Again, I feel like the nun was a lot stronger than the second nun, especially because it just happens like, oh, okay, well, the nun escaped or the demon escaped, possessed somebody else, and the friggin' blood of Christ, spoiler alert, um, wasn't enough to stop the nun. All right, like you couldn't stop that demon by using probably what should be the most potent weapon that you possibly have against a demonic entity. But what do I know for storytelling? Like I just know that was, if you were going to do that, like save it for the last thing that you try, because I mean, then you're basically saying your boy Christ, couldn't take down a demon. I mean, that's just my take from it. And maybe they weren't counting on making a sequel to the movie, and then it was, successful at the box office. So they were like, well, let's make a second one. And you do all the horror movie tropes where like you need to find another artifact, and it's related to the main character, and now the main character is also the chosen one, and they're not just there, they're like the person who is supposed to stop this entity. And I'm like, how many times do we have to see this plot device? Like, I think it was good that they nixed one of the characters by having them die, so that way she's kind of like all on her own, and she's the senior leader in this expedition, right? Because she was like somebody who had studied, like, I don't know, like psychology or demonology or whatever. It's probably something you would learn, in the what do you call it, seminary school, or in the convent, or I don't know what the equivalent to seminary is for nuns. So if you're in the comments and you know what the equivalent to the seminary for nuns is, please feel free to put it in the comments below. Um, but yeah, this piece was a commission. One of the first of so far 4 horror commissions for one customer. I've been selling a bunch of sketch cards. Like I took a group of horror sketch cards over to a guy I know, uh, who does a lot of like trading card sales and stuff like that. Just in the off chance that he might want to look at them and maybe buy one or something like that. And I had like 6 horror cards with me, and 3 of them I had already custom slabbed, and then um, I'd also 3 that weren't slabbed but were in top loaders, and he like bought the 3 slabbed ones right off the bat and said, "Bring these ones back because I want them slabbed as well." And so then I took some other horror pieces, and he wanted the Nun, and he wanted Pennywise as well for his son, because it's a horror family fandom, and they had like a nun mask, and just I wanted to concentrate predominantly on the eyes and the mouth for this piece, which I feel was pretty effective. And one of the things that I really really like about this is just the melding of minimal colors and a lot of heavy blacks. And I tend to overthink a lot of my artwork. So it's really nice once I get to a certain point and I'm just like, just add blacks, just keep putting more black and more black on there because you can't go wrong with that. And then just do your best not to overthink what you're doing and using the red gel pen, and not in this one, but the white gel pen on some others to pop highlights and stuff. Um, Anyways, this was my first attempt drawing the Nun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, like, share, and subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.